Today, I'm going to show you how to draw a fire pit. Before we start, you really need to know one thing, and it's how to draw a raindrop shape. And you might be wondering why you need to know how to draw a raindrop shape. I'll tell you in a minute. First, I want you to grab a piece of practice paper and try drawing a raindrop. If you're having trouble, you can sketch it with a circle and a triangle on top. Then all you have to do is erase the connection between the two shapes and you're left with a perfect raindrop. Once you practice that a few times, you'll be able to see right here what I mean and why you need to be able to draw that raindrop in order to draw fire. As you can see where I'm drawing these flames, there's a little shape in between in the negative space. The shape in between each flame looks like the shape of a raindrop. So if you do some practice work and you practice drawing raindrops for a little while until you get the hang of it, then you can copy this, make a curve. Imagine drawing a raindrop in between the shape right there. Then bring the line back down. Imaginary raindrop in between each one. This does take a little bit of practice, but if you make a pointed shape with raindrops in between it, you should be able to draw some flames that look like this. Now, once you get the hang of the flames, we're going to set up our page for a more complete drawing. We're going to be doing a little fire pit with some flames coming up, and don't worry if yours isn't perfect. This is how you get better at art. So what we're going to do is start with an oval, a big oval shape in the middle, and this is actually called an ellipse. An ellipse is like when you look at a circle from the side view. So do your oval and then two lines coming down, one from the left side and one from the right side. After you do that, you can connect it with a curved line on the bottom. This is actually a really cool three-dimensional shape. You can use this shape for drawing so many different things. It kind of looks like a hockey puck, but you can also use it to draw a piece of a cake or just so many different things that are this three-dimensional oval shape. After you get that, draw a little curved line underneath. This will end up being the bottom of the fire pit. Next, you're going to draw a curved line coming down from the left side and a curved line coming down from the right side. These will become the feet of the fire pit, or the legs, really. You can draw around the bottom and bring that line back up on both sides, kind of like a table with bent legs. It doesn't have to be perfect, just try your best. Here I am fixing mine because even though I'm an artist, I still fix things when I draw, and that's what makes them better as I go. And that's how I learn. The next step, you're going to add an oval underneath, kind of connecting these legs together. So what you do is you start with a curved line going across, and then you do another curved line in the back. There, just like that. This is kind of like a connection piece that helps your fire pit look a little more three-dimensional. Now, you might have a fire pit and it might not look like this, or you might have seen a fire pit before and it looked different. They all look very different. This is just a specific one that I thought I would teach you to draw, and I thought it would be around the 4th grade level. So I'm going to draw a copycat line and make this like a double line so that it has a little bit more dimension to the drawing. Drawing nice and slow here. Good. Our fire pit's coming together. Next, I'm going to add some texture to make it look like it's made of metal. So I do these diagonal lines across. And then take my pencil and do the diagonal lines in the opposite direction. It forms a crisscross shape. A lot of artists will use this texture when they're drawing ice cream cones. Few touch-ups here and there, just looking over my drawing to see if any overlapping lines needed to be erased in order to look more realistic. And that's it for the fire pit holder. Now it's time to get ready and try and draw your best fire. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. You can do it a different way if you want. The fire I taught you, I learned a long time ago, and the more I practiced, the better I got. This is the kind of flames they kind of paint on cars, or they put on stickers. They're called stylized flames. You have a specific style. It might not look super realistic, but it's what an artist would do when they're using, I don't know, paints or markers and they wanted to make what would go in a children's book, like an illustration. Now, when I'm drawing my flames, you can either copy mine exactly or you can make up your own. But what I did was make a couple layers of flames. So I'm drawing the first layer here, and then I'm going to draw one behind it as well. Just making different points and at different heights. Trying my best to get that little shape in between. It is really important that you erase this line so that you don't see through our fire. You can tell that the fire is actually sitting inside of the fire pit. Next, I'm going to add another layer of flames behind this one. Just like the same patterns in a different direction, pointing up and curving around on the negative space. Here I am adding some final details, just making a little copycat line around my oval so that my fire pit looks a little more three-dimensional. Do that on each side. Sometimes I turn my paper as I work. I just find that it's easier to reach the places that I need to draw. And there, we have a beautiful fire pit. I'm going to show you how to add color and some details to make this look really, really awesome. Here's some grass. You can kind of add grass wherever you think, or maybe you have rocks underneath your fire pit. It's really up to you with the details. Now, if you still have your oil pastels from your mini art kit that I made, you're going to want to get those out along with a little Q-tip or a paper towel for blending. If you don't have them anymore or use them up, you can use crayons. These are really fun to blend, just like we used on our pumpkin drawing. These just turn out awesome. So here I am taking out the three warm colors, red, yellow, and orange, and I'm getting ready to draw the flames. Now here's my Q-tip. It's a little dirty. I might grab a clean one, but that's what you'll need to add color. So here's a little time lapse doing red at the tips, then orange, and I'm going to pull and blend that color together and fade it in with the yellow, which looks really, really bright. Next, I grabbed a colored pencil, and you might notice this extra piece of paper I have. I kind of put that over the oil pastels so that when I'm leaning on it, I'm not smudging them with my hand. That's a little trick that artists use. So I use colored pencil for the rest of my details, and boom! I think this fire pit turned out really cool. I cannot wait to see how yours turned out. And don't worry if it's not perfect.